We have some big news coming from Phoenix as a latest update from Matt Ishbia lets us know the direction of the Phoenix Suns regardless of this offseason, entailing details on Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. And we got to dive in and look at all of this. This clearly shows the direction and path that James Jones and Matt Ishbia will be heading into this offseason. We'll also have a little bit of an injury update as well prior to this game. All of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support. It's truly, truly appreciated. But before we dive into all this news, check out this update from Hot Takes. We are kicking off a March Madness Bracket Challenge here on this channel, and we've decided to partner with the app Hot Takes to run this event amongst other Digest channels. And it's completely free to sign up. All you need to do is download the app, click the top left banner March Madness, and go to the bottom right to find groups. Scroll down and find the Digest Media Pool and click that to join. You can win up to $25,000 in total prizes, and there's a real chance to win as there's a smaller pool involved in this challenge. All you need to do is go down to the pinned comment down below and click that link or scan this QR code and enter the code DIGEST in all caps to receive your exclusive perks. Remember, it is free to sign up, and if you have any questions revolving around this promotion, follow the pinned comment to revert back to the email. We hope to catch you guys on this group pool, and make sure to enter before March 16th before the tournament starts. Once again, huge shout out to Part Hot Takes, and check out the link in the description down below if you're interested. Without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into some Suns news. And before we dive in and kind of get into this Matt Ishbia kind of debrief and stuff, we do have a little bit of an injury update that provides us some good news revolving around this Phoenix Suns team, as we could potentially see the debut of a Phoenix Suns player. And you might be thinking, in March we're going to be seeing a debut? That's a little crazy, but yes, we saw from Dwayne Rankin that the injury report for the Kings was released for tonight's contest, and one player that was acquired in that Yusuf Nurkic trade, and Cody Martin, has yet to be able to be suited up, as he's been dealing with a sports hernia. He recently had went down to the Valley Suns and played with their G League to kind of get ramped up, and he is ruled as questionable for tonight's contest alongside Nick Richards, who missed their game last time versus the Houston Rockets with a ankle sprain. Grayson Allen is listed as doubtful alongside Monte Morris, so we probably won't see those guys for the Phoenix Suns. But it could be nice to see Cody Martin, who could, get to show the Phoenix Suns what he could bring as, a defensive wing. We do know that's something that the Suns do lack, and he said he could bring a Swiss Army knife for this Suns roster. So I'd really like to see what Cody Martin could inject if he is given time by Mike Budenholzer to, carve out some minutes in this rotation if he is available tonight. If he's not available tonight, hopefully for these next couple games he could be available, as like we said, the Suns are still looking to compete in for that play-in hunt and still looking to make that playoff push. But that's the update we have for Cody Martin. Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comment section. I wanted to get that little bit of information out. And next, let's get into some interesting news. As like I mentioned, you guys are here to learn about the updates around the Phoenix Suns, as Matt Ishbia kind of gave us a little bit of an inkling or a little bit of a clue on what could be happening for this Suns future. So let's get into it and let's break it down. As Matt Ishbia sat down with Tim McMahon from ESPN and did a long interview talking about what's next for Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and the Phoenix Suns. And he basically went into some detail talking about, unfortunately, first, the disappointing season the Suns have been having. And he said, what's the reason? He basically said, I don't have an answer. If I had the answer, he'd obviously fix it right now. He still believes in our team, still believes in Coach Budenholzer, and he believes in the guys we have. And at the same time, at the end of the season, if we don't get to where we expect to get to, I have enough data and evidence that it didn't work well or it did work, and I will make decisions based on that. And Ishbia is obviously alluding to the last couple games here in the season, kind of predicting stuff, saying he trusts, obviously, the players and the coach. I do like to see that, but we've kind of seen Mike Budenholzer not be the greatest head coach with given, a better roster, some would say, with this Suns team this season. Ishbia would also say that it's been a very disappointing year. Yes, very disappointed, and there's not a person in the organization that doesn't feel that way. They obviously had higher expectations, and they felt really good about where they were going into this season, and they've not met any of those expectations. We've been well below what we've expected, and it's not anything close. In his next breath, HBO also reiterated that a postseason bid is still within the Suns' reach, saying that if they get into the playoffs, I don't think that we're an easy out for anybody. And you could say that, and I definitely would agree with Matt Ishbia that in this play-in race, we kind of looked at it in the live stream yesterday. So shout out to everyone that came through for the weekly live streams. And if you missed them, make sure to tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific to tune in for those. But with the Phoenix Suns and kind of diving in and looking at that team that we kind of had, um, going over what Matt Ishbia said, the teams in the plane that they're competing against, if they pass the Mavericks, the Kings, one they'll be coming up against tonight, so we'll see how that matchup looks. But a potential matchup versus the Wolves or even the Clippers. I think the Clippers, we've seen them beat before, and I think they could beat them. The Timberwolves, they've been in close matchups, so it would be very hard. But if they were able to sneak in as that 8 seed with some luck, being able to, be able to pass the Mavericks, beat the Kings, and beat the Clippers. Going against the Thunder would definitely be a tough matchup, but they could definitely squeak 1 or 2 wins to where it wouldn't be such, a big blowout. And I think the Suns would actually be able to not get swept versus an Oklahoma City Thunder team with the roster they have this season. And I kind of agree with Matt Ishbia on that. And if we want to continue looking more into Matt Ishbia and kind of talking about this team, he went into some more details, and now he's talking about some of the players. And when he talks about some of the players, obviously, he says the front office will explore scenarios, obviously, next season while operating under Ishbia's all-in mandate. And according to Ishbia, a pivot and reload around Booker would be the direction the franchise chooses this summer. We've mentioned this before in the past that the Suns want to do this, and Ishbia now confirms it in this piece, saying the futures of Beal and Durant in Phoenix are uncertain after the Suns engaged in trade talks involving both of them before this year's deadline, where belief within the Suns front office that the Suns aren't as far away from contending as the standings indicate. As a source close to Ishbia said, for better or worse, there's no trust in the process to Matt Ishbia. And Ishbia follows that up, but obviously letting us know that they will not be trading Devin Booker. Never mind that there are plenty rival executives who would want, obviously, Matt Ishbia to trade Devin Booker, specifically the Houston Rockets, who control, a bunch of their draft capital from the Brooklyn Nets that they got in that deal over the summer. He said that it will never happen. It's silly. So what I'll tell you is I have Devin Booker in his prime. In order to win an NBA championship, you got to have a superstar. You got to have a great player. Nor will Booker request a trade. Regardless of how the Suns finish the season, Booker says he's fully committed to spending his entire career in Phoenix, sharing that vision with Ishbia and Suns lead executives, CEO Josh Bartelstein and general manager James Jones. And once again, I want to further this up and hit this on the hammer that Devin Booker will not be traded, regardless of the rumors, regardless of the updates, regardless of what you see on social media. Unless Devin Booker requests that trade, which at this point he has said that he is not going to and trust the front office, he will be staying in Phoenix this offseason, which lets us know that if the Suns and when the Suns in the offseason do go to, reintegrate this roster, they could look to trade Kevin Durant or they could look to trade Bradley Beal. Regardless, Matt Ishbia wants to stay competitive and wants to stay winning. And he reiterated that once again by letting us know that Matt Ishbia thinks it's insulting to suggest a patient rebuilding process, as he might be in the best interest for the Suns. He thinks that it's surprising to me that other people and other fans actually like the rebuild process. He said, "I didn't come in here to let's rebuild it. Are you crazy? You think I'm going to go for 7 years and try to get there? You enjoy those 20, 30 picks and that we are holding. I want to try and see the game today. I want us to win today, and we're going to try." Although, let's say that doesn't work though, guess what? Maybe next year we won't be as good, but we're going to try again. The next opportunity we have, we're going to try and win is to compete, and it will work. We will win a championship here in Phoenix. Might not be in the next year or this year, but I promise you we're going to do it, and that's what we're focused on. And Devin Booker followed that up by letting us know that he told ESPN that he's a rare breed. Obviously, I mean, it's a rare breed. I take pride in the community in Phoenix, the people that have supported me since I was 18 when things were ugly, and for the people that are with us when we just fell short of accomplishing what we want. So I want to do it, and I want to do it here. That's the responsibility of being a franchise player, and I wear that with honor. So it might not look the most pretty right now, but we've got to get it done, and I'm going to do it. And that's what I want to hear from Devin Booker, the franchise player, the guy who obviously has the franchise all-point record, could honestly be the greatest Phoenix Sun in all time, depending on your view. But Booker, obviously, still at 28 years old, can still be a top-tier player. And a lot of people have knocked on Devin Booker, comparative to his final seasons and, his shooting splits and all this stuff, kind of looking at this year and stuff like that. But Devin Booker is still one of those top-tier scorers, and partnered alongside Kevin Durant or partner alongside Bradley Beal with one of those, with two scores instead of three, this team can fully compete and can fully win. And I truly do believe that vision that Matt Ishbia has. Like you said, it might not be this season, it might not be next, but the Phoenix Suns' goal is to compete, and their goal is to still be in those conversations. And I really do expect to hear that this season with this Phoenix Suns team. Now, regarding the other two Suns, well, they're obviously in some question marks, as we see here, that barring a drastic turnaround for the Suns. The anticipation around the league is that Phoenix will still entertain trade offers for Durant again this summer, with Ishbia saying, "I'll just say that we're going to evaluate in this offseason. We're going to find a way to win, and it's probably a lot easier winning with Kevin Durant than without him. But at the same time, yes, if we're not good enough in this iteration of the Phoenix Suns, we're going to have to find a way to be better next year." And ultimately, what that really screams to me, with that kind of highlights, is that they want to keep Durant. Ishbia wants him to stay, but maybe this relationship has been ruptured, and or the Phoenix Suns feel that this is the only move that they can make due to the fact with Bradley Beal's no trade clause, which we'll get into in a little bit. If they're unable to move off that Bradley Beal contract, what they still would like to move off of, which I do believe in this offseason, to still keep Kevin Durant and Devin Booker alongside these guys and to extend Durant, I believe that would still be the main direction of this team. I don't know if they're going to be able to fully do that. So if they're not able to trade Bradley Beal, regardless of him not wanting to waive his no trade clause or no one having interest in him that he is willing to waive it to go to, therefore the Suns may have to resort to trading Kevin Durant to just get out of this big three and ultimately to start that pivot. It might have to be that domino to fall due to the fact that they have put themselves in this dire situation. And like I mentioned, we would talk about Bradley Beal, and Beal had a quote in here that I did grab from Legion Hoops saying he's still playing in the NBA. I still have the best job in the world, and I still have my no trade clause. So I'm smiling every day. So for Bradley Beal, like I mentioned, he's just happy he has his no trade clause. He's just happy that he's getting his guaranteed money. And for all of us Suns fans, we are very, very sincerely screwed because of this, because we have to deal with this type of contract. And I brought this up in the live stream yesterday. If Bradley Beal didn't have the no trade clause and only had 50 million, he would have been traded to a bad team. If he had 30 to 35 million dollars without the no trade clause, he would have then definitely been traded, because someone would have valued him at least at that money with those picks. It's just unfortunate that the Suns are with a double-edged sword here, dealing with a $50 million overpaid contract for a third star player on the best team, while also dealing with a no trade clause that they can't escape, with them both stabbing them in the side and not being able to yank out both of them at the same time. Therefore, the Suns may be stuck with Beal, and like I mentioned, if they are stuck with Bradley Beal, then they'll have to pivot and force a trade Durant. But ultimately, I do think we got some clarity with this Suns team. We still know that they want to make that playoff push. We still know that they are hungry, and they are fighting for that. Once again tonight, taking on a Sacramento Kings team who's a little bit closer in competition. So hopefully the Suns once again can get a nice big win here versus a Sacramento Kings team who lacks on the defensive side as well. They could really utilize their offensive ability, hopefully outscore this team with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and be able to kind of give them a higher chance to show also to Booker, Durant, to Matt Ishbia that this team once again can win. Ishbia said that this iteration of these stars being put together can succeed, and I truly do believe if you have a team of Booker and KD that with the right pieces around them, it would be a championship contender in this Western Conference, and we've clearly seen that with how those two stars have played if you put the right role players or the right fits around them. We just have yet to see that with this roster construction, and hopefully we could see that next year. But let me know your thoughts. Devin Booker is not leaving. I'm absolutely ecstatic. I'd obviously like to trade Bradley Beal over Kevin Durant because I want to continue to see this continuing to grow. But if not, I understand why the Suns have to do it. And unfortunately, Kevin Durant has to be the domino, and I do feel bad for that. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know how you guys feel all about this Suns news and updates. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.